Hey y'all, what's up? I'm going to try to finish up this auction haul so I don't drag this into the weekend because I've got stuff to do. So we've got three more lots to finish. The first one is a lot of electronics. I got it for $10. I had a hair dryer that I sold at the garage sale this past weekend for like $2. Then there's an electronic remote cooking meat thermometer or thermometer of some sort, which is over at the garage sale thing still. The flag pole mount thing that I showed in the last video. And then I've got an emergency radio. And I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it. Like I said, I'm a little obsessed with radios in general, so we'll see if I list that. Then we had in that same lot a dash cam and backup mirror kit. I don't know anything about these things, but it looks like things are in it. Things are in the box. Go figure. Such a nerd, Renee. But anyways, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 items in that lot for $10. All right, so a couple hours later, we are back finally. You know, I like to think I'm a nice person, and I know I am, but damn, once I get out in the traffic here in Raleigh, it just goes right out the window. These people around here are the biggest jackasses when it comes to driving. So it's very much you better pay attention and drive. Well, you're supposed to drive defensively. I drive offensively because I am not getting smushed again. So anyways, here we are. Let's try to wrap this thing up. I have the box of brass sitting right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and dive into that first. So, I paid up for this box of brass, $140. It's quite a bit of money. And let me show you the worst piece in the whole box. I don't think this is solid brass, quite honestly. He got some issues. Cute little dish. And I am fairly sure that I'll be able to get most of the tarnish off and clean him up. But, yeah, that's messed up. I don't know what happened here. Don't know. On the back, it says VIPC. So I wonder if this was like part of a set, since there's the letter C on the back on his little fin. There's that one. Then we have a little cricket box. I love these things just because they're easy shelf decor. They're shiny. They reflect the light. I love brass. Are you a brass person or a silver person? I used to be a silver person when I was younger, but the older I get, the more I like brass. Right? So the inside, this is pretty cool. Pretty clean. It's fairly thin, so I know it's not super old. Likely made in India. But, yeah, so there's that. Then, these are neat. I had some slag glass from Boyd's Glass bells. And I think they were bells. Anyways, these remind me of them. Like here's this little, that sounds horrible. Nice ring, eh? Lots of detail on it. I have not looked up the price for these yet. Pretty cool. And then there's a little one. And she is identical, just smaller, right? They're heavy too. So I would imagine that there was a middle one that is not included in this. Then we have We have some ducks. We have this duck. Right? And they're solid too. Nice weight to them. And this duck. Again, I would think that these had sets of 3. I've seen them in sets of 3. I don't generally see them in sets of 4. Then we have a single solitary. This is one of my favorites. I've had a duck. I've had a couple different ducks. But I've never had the little bells, and I've never had a fish. I've never had a solid brass fish. No markings on him. But he's got a lot of cool detail, and he's fairly heavy too. Then brass candle holders. I have two pair. I love these. I like the shape of them. So, made in India on the bottom. They're in pretty good condition. Of course, I've got wax in them, and they're fairly weighty. So, nice quality, not cheap. Then we have the other pair, which is amazing to me that you just take these things apart, right? These have made in Japan stamped on the bottom. And they're low profile. I've sold similar before. I can't remember how much I sold them for at this point, but those have some really good weight to them as well. Now, like the other things in this is these. This has a little bit of corrosion on them. So I have a set of 3. A set of 3 owls. I don't think I've had this particular design before, and I know for sure I've not had a set of 3. I don't know if I'm going to sell them as a set of 3. I got to do a little bit of research on them and see, but they have a good heft to them. Like, they're not the heaviest that I've ever felt, but they're not lightweight either. So, and they've got felt on the bottom. Fetch furniture. This is really why I wanted this whole lot, besides the fish. I love these. I've wanted to get these since I've started selling vintage, and I finally got them. I love them. They're little trinket boxes. They open up. So, very, very happy. I can mark that off my bucket list. My sales bucket list. So that's the brass. The bells sound good. I know it probably sounds clankety clankety clank on the video, but it sounds good here. All right. Next up. So I won a lot of pottery items. There are well, the way they took the picture, it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. However, one of them was that squishy pharmaceutical stress ball that I showed in the first video, which they randomly put into this thing. I don't get it, but I don't know. I don't know why they do the things they do over there. The second item was the terracotta jack-o'-lantern that I showed in the first video. One moment, please. So, pottery. So, I'll tell you a quick story. The first auction that I ever participated in, there was a box of, it's just said, I believe, a lot of household items, and it showed this big box, and it had a bunch of random stuff in it. And, you know, Jason went and picked it up, and we'd go through it and try to figure out, you know, what is this, what is that, etc. And there was this random plate looking thing. It was weird. It was like a weird shape, and I'm like, what the hell is that? What does that even do? It didn't make any sense. And so we donated it, got rid of it. And then later down the road, come to find out, it's an underplate for a colander. Pottery. Dirt. I didn't realize that colanders would have an underplate. So, guess what this goes with? Oh, and Langston is really good about not including all of the items together. I know that one auction I bid on a lot of stuff, and it had a couple random pieces in it, like a lid to a ginger jar. Later, they ran another auction with the actual ginger jar. So I had to like bid my ass off on that just to make sure I got a matching set. It's gorgeous and I'm glad I did, but like sometimes you get the underplate in one lot and then maybe you get the colander in another, and then maybe sometimes it's going to be in another auction completely. So that's how you learn, I guess. So this is quite large colander. On the bottom, it says Triple C, North Carolina, 2008. Jesus saves. Maybe he saves the colanders. Anyways, so there's that. This kind of looks like a Bill Campbell style glaze. It's very big. So, cool. I'll just list that. I don't have any idea. I didn't buy this lot for this colander. I bought this lot, or for the pumpkin. That little planter holder, the black that I showed yesterday on white, the one that I think I'm going to keep for myself, that came in this lot. And then there is a hand-painted terracotta planter that's over at the garage sale thing with flowers on it. The real reason I bought this lot was for this. Now, do you think I can remember the name of the artist? I'll have to look it up and pop it in on the screen, but her stuff sells fairly well. This is big. Again, you don't really get... Do you have measurements this time? Most of the times, they'll give one measurement in the whole thing, up to 3¼ inch high. Wait, 3¼ inches high, 15 inches long. So I guess they're just giving you the biggest one in the lot, which whatever, but it's pretty. It's made in Italy. No chips or cracks, which is impressive because usually the stuff like this made in Italy has at least a couple chips on it. Now I say that once I get it washed and I get it in the booth, we'll know the truth. So this one, that's what I got this lot for. Then the last lot will be, what was that? And I got this for 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4 items. So I need to get an average price of, I don't know, don't make me math, like $3, $4 each, something like that. Then we have, where's the last one? They did the, oh, that's right, this thing was in there too. All right, so this was, I bought this for the calculator that was in it, because these Texas Instrument calculators usually sell well, even if it's for parts, because it doesn't tell you whether it looks or whether it works or not. A lot of vintage alarm clocks and scale up to 11 inches by 11¼ inches. So they just throw it all in one big box. So this first thing, Texas Instrument. Cardinals outside chirping away. Plugged it in to see if it works. The clear button was sticking, which is an important button that shouldn't stick because you're going to need that button. So I took it and tried to clean it, and I took it apart and it was all like soldered together, and that's above my pay grade. So Jason said that he would take it apart to see if he could do anything with it. He got the clear button to not stick as bad, but it's going to be sold for parts because the numbers, when they come across the screen, like one of the rows is missing the digital display. Now it might just need a new ribbon, I don't know, but so this, I got this whole lot for $5. So I got this in that lot. So even if I sell this thing for $10, it'll be to the good. This alarm clock, let me tell you, I plugged this thing in to test it, right? And the alarm sound on this, dude, like, who the hell is waking up to this? Because this is like an emergency sound. I don't know why you would want to start your day like that. Come up out of the dang bed like crazy. I'm going to plug it in and see if I can entertain you with this sound, because it's ridiculous. So first of all, it works, which is great. All right. Oh, here's the test. No. That's just not right. That's so not right. Nope. No, thank you. It's a clock radio, right? It's got the snooze, the alarm, standby, weather. That's crazy. It's got an FM. I'm going to plug it in. Now, someone has busted off the top part of the antenna. So that's the weather channel, which is pretty good. Now, oh, no. This is just a weather channel. It's not an FM. Never mind. PM, not FM. So the snooze button feels like it's been snoozed a few too many times. That's pretty cool, though, the weather. Weather radio alert. I'll sell this for parts as well, probably. And then we have this. And I just took the battery cover off, and surprisingly enough, like, it's pretty pristine in there. I'm surprised that there's not a battery that's been left in there to corrode. You know, I imagine people don't do it on purpose. You know, life gets busy, they get new things, and etc., etc. They forget about the battery, they put the old thing away, and before you know it, it corrodes. But if you can think about it, you should always remove your batteries before you're storing your electronics. Now, I'm not familiar with this. This is what is this, a Spartus? And this is just a straight up alarm clock. Let's see if I haven't even tested it yet. Well, it comes on. So there's no tester. There's a snoozer. You can set it. It's funny. It's got the low battery light on it. There's no battery in it. Yeah, it sets and holds the time, I would imagine. These things are like built like tanks, basically. So that turns on. I'll have to look that up. If someone just wants an old school alarm clock. I mean, who's waking up to that nonsense anymore? Good thing. I hate these things. I think they're miserable, but there's this. Again, I got all this stuff for $5. I will probably donate that. I grew up in northwestern Pennsylvania, and oh, that don't sound good. That sounds not good. So not sure what's up with that. Probably a dang mouse or something. I don't know. But these things were the channel turners, right? You'd have this big antenna up on top of your house. This was plugged into the TV, and you'd come up and you would turn the dial north, east, west, and that's how you would get the antenna to turn. And I grew up with one of those, believe it or not. It wasn't even as small as this. It was like giant. So, yeah, I don't know what the heck is in that. We'll have to figure that out. And then, is that the last thing? No. There's a radio and a little wooden watch clock thing. So this person, I'm assuming that it's from one home, but it's probably a collection of stuff. So anyways, this person, I want to pretend that it was one person, liked radios. So this also included that. The interesting thing, the radio works great, but the weather part, Unless I can just not figure out where the weather station is. That didn't want to come in at all. This has the capability of batteries, or there is a cord inside, and the antenna is intact. Emerson. There's that. Then this is my favorite. This is my favorite thing from this lot. Super fun. Let me get this right so I can show you and it doesn't look freaking weird. All right, so this. It's wood. It's like real wood, and it's articulated. I mean, it's so cool. Like, you can't obviously do that, but it would hang on the wall. Very neat looking. I've ordered a battery to put into this because it takes a 1.5 volt battery, which is a really oddly sized battery. It's a little bitty, itty bitty guy. So I'm going to see if it works. I'm hoping it works because that's really kind of cool. I like it. So that, again, $5 for all of that. So that wraps up the Langston July auction. And now all that's left to do is clean up the majority of this stuff and take pictures, and then all that's left to do. I say that like it's just going to take me, but 2 seconds. So yeah, the real work begins now, where you have to clean it, research it, take pictures of it, wrap it up, take it to storage, put it in a bin, put it in a numbered bin. Then you make a list of what's in that numbered bin, and then it goes on my spreadsheet. That's how I do it. I'll have to do a video on that one day. So, anyhow, y'all have a good one. And I'm going to do a what sold, giant what sold video, just so I can keep track. I want to do a video on what sold at the vintage sale. And I want to do a what sold on the Etsy, eBay, Facebook thing. So anyways, peace out. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. Any questions, or if you like anything, let me know.